其實佢係高壓氧治療時候需要用到嘅高壓艙。呢種高壓氧治療至今已經有近300年嘅歷史，由最初用嚟治療潛水所造成嘅相關疾患，發展到依家已經變成多種難以醫治嘅病症治療及舒緩嘅方法。
我係呢個高壓氧中心嘅負責操作呢個 chamber 嘅，係我叫 Daisy。呢個呢就係我哋平時操作嘅 panel 嚟嘅。咁裏邊呢，其實嗱，你見到有CCTV 啦，同埋有呢個咪呢。咁其實呢，譬如病人喺裏邊治療嘅時間呢，因為佢留喺入邊呢要90分鐘嘅一個療程。咁我係可以呢同佢通到話，又可以見到佢嘅情況嘅。坐滿嘅時候呢，可以坐到6個人嘅。就有咩病痛係唔做得高壓氧呢？譬如如果個人而家係傷風緊啦，或者係有鼻竇炎啦，或者佢係未經過處理嘅氣胸啦，咁呢啲所有嘅嘢呢，佢都暫時係唔做得高壓氧嘅。
高壓又高氧呢個治療聽上去似乎比較針對一啲嚴重嘅病症，但原來冇病冇痛都可以做嚟改善睡眠及身體缺氧嘅問題。唔知實試員貝兒完成呢個療程之後，感覺又係點呢？
咁我啱啱咧就完成咗90分鐘嘅高壓氧療程啦。咁個階段係點樣嘅呢？其實一開始我就唔使即刻戴住個 mask 先嘅，一開始係坐喺度，跟住佢應該係喺度成個站。
呢個好似太空艙咁樣嘅設備，唔知大家見過未？其實佢係呢個好似
試咪1 2 3 4 5 6 7試咪試咪試咪試咪1 2 3 4 5 6 7試咪試咪1 2 3 4 5 6 7試咪聽到啦，聽到。試咪1 2 3 4 5 6 7試咪試咪好。
行，张老师能听到吗？您的中文配吗？稍等一会儿。
試咪1 2 3 4 5 6 7試咪。
可以听到，稍等。
你好，请问你们听到吗？你们听到我们这边说话吗？你好，你们听到吗？
是这样的，刚才是离的话筒稍微远一点，然后一点就靠近。
你好，你好，你好。
老师多说两句，回声1 2 3。
你好，你们有听到我们这里说话吗？你们有听到吗？你好。你好，你們有聽到嗎？我哋冇俾人瞄過嗬。
好的，好的。
好的，有聽到嗎？請問一下。喂。有。
可以聽到。
好的，好的，謝謝。好的，謝謝。
喂，可是又不小。回声1 2 3。
好，聽到我們這裡，謝謝。
回聲1 2 3，中文頻道。
好，試麥1 2 3，聽到。
回聲1 2 3。
喂，聽到。
我們現在來的是聽1 2 3。
好，聽1 2 3，收到1 2 3。
1234。
Hello, cool girl.
Cut it up, roll one up. A lot of drugs in my cup. Light it up, smoking fire. Love got me high as fuck. Holding it down in the parking lot with a couple of friends. Just one look, it's all it takes to steal your bitch. Waiting for the dark-skinned woman to come out to play. Seen a lot of black cats lose their way, yeah. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. No need to bother what they want from me. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. High speed, top seat, I'm about mine. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. No need to bother what they want from me. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. High speed, top seat, I'm about mine. The way she move knows no shame. Might be in for the game. Snap a pic, watch it cloud. Pour it out, make it rain. Looking around, anyone can tell she's feeling herself. If she only knew that I don't give a fuck about no one else. Someone tell her what she about to get herself into. Trying to fix
收音测试，收音测试，收音测试，收音测试。
an issue. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. No need to bother what they want from me. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. High speed, top seat, I'm about mine. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. No need to bother what they want from me. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. High speed, top seat, I'm about mine. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. No need to bother what they want from me. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. High speed, top seat, I'm about nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. No need to bother what they want from me. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. High speed, top seat, I'm about mine. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. No need to bother what they want from me. Nobody, I don't fuck with nobody. High speed, top seat, I'm about mine.
收音测试，收音测试，1、2、3、4，1、2、3、4，收音测试，收音测试。 好，现在现场正在调整一些相关的设备设施，我们的交流会准备要开始了，请大家在现场稍微耐心等候一下。2021年中丹经贸合作交流会，等一下马上就要开始了，大家耐心等候一下。今天应该会有非常多的很好的内容。
见你离开，我从哭泣中醒来，看夜风吹过窗台，你能否感受我的爱？等到老去那一天，你是否还在我身边？看那些誓言谎言，随往事慢慢飘散。多少人曾爱慕你年轻时的容颜，可知谁愿承受岁月无情的变迁？多少人曾在你生命中来了又还，可知一生有你我都陪在你身边。谢谢。还有2楼和3楼的朋友，因为梦见你离开，我从哭泣中醒来，看夜风吹过窗台，你能否感受我的爱？等到老去那一天，你是否还在我身边？看那些誓言谎言，随往事慢慢飘散。多少人曾爱慕你年轻时的容颜，可是谁愿承受岁月无情的变迁？多少人曾在你生命中来了又还，可知一生有你我都陪在你身边。当所有一切都已看平淡，心间，多少人曾爱慕你年轻时的容颜，可是谁愿承受岁月无情的变迁？多少人曾在你生命中来了又还，可知一生有你我都陪在你身边。多少人曾爱慕你年轻时的容颜，可知谁愿承受岁月无情的变迁？多少人曾在你生命中来了又还，可知一生有你我都陪在你身边。可知一生有你我都陪在你身边。谢谢，谢谢你们，谢谢清华，谢谢大家。
ranging epidemic worldwide in Shenzhen with just 2,995 colleagues or 20,000 RMB. Today, that small business has grown to become the largest telecom equipment manufacturer in the world. 身为独立的很好的产品环境，华资环境，市场产品各种别人组合好，但听了一个，忘了说，别人说的，他们都过去了。Today, in a way, it's what we do in the GDP economy. In 2006, TJI launched Slow at Shenzhen. Now, dominating 70% of the market worldwide. Adjacent to Hong Kong and Macau, Shenzhen is home to the world's third largest airport, Asia's largest land port, and one of China's 5 largest airports, with direct flights to cities around the world. The Beijing Shenzhen World Exhibition and Convention Center is the world's largest pavilion.
Recording in progress.
Shenzhen is an important port for China's market for investors and a major swing gate for Chinese brands aiming to dominate. From the new launch of the business, allowing to move to already recognized designs and coordinated wireless and more. As the IFC configures the Tokyo sports, Shenzhen is the leader for business as the global supply chain resources that way. So things that will make you smart, that require different chipset, each of them does a very, very long ecosystem of products. This is why Shenzhen is important. Shenzhen is home to TJI one popular retail profit zone, into comprehensive profit zone, and Shenzhen export processing zone, which serves as important platforms for the open economy and for foreign investments in Shenzhen. With the addition of this team, Shenzhen has attracted investors around the globe, experts in China in terms of financing. One of the key centers, making the are really pushing the frontiers of digitization. Aiming to create an ecosystem for technology innovation, Shenzhen takes a head start in 5G, IoT, AI, blockchain, and other emerging industries. There is a why need for speed, need for technical ideas. That mindset can be found here. It's found in Silicon Valley. 深圳 is one of China's most industrialized cities. Shenzhen is an international consumer center with strong commercial activity and consumption in the EU is flying. A new generation of consumers has a strong Shenzhen International Tourism City with a plethora of parks and over 25% rental coverage rates.
很抱歉，大家可能听到的在线的这个声音可能会比较小哈，已经通知这个大会现场的工作人员在进行调整。
Investing Shenzhen, both new and future.
现场的视频声音可能会稍微小了一点哈，已经通知大会现场的工作人员在进行调整了，请大家多多谅解啊。
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon. I'd like to remind you that this meeting will feature simultaneous translation, and there will be an interpretation option at the bottom of your screen. Under this button, you will see 2 channels, English and Chinese. If you would like to hear all speakers in English, please select the English channel. Ladies and gentlemen, now we'll begin our meeting. Thank you for joining us for the China-Denmark Economic and Trade Exchange meeting. My name is Yu Zhirong. I'm from Commerce Bureau of Shenzhen Municipality. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be the host of this meeting. We have a great number of distinguished guests today, representing industries and government entities from Denmark, Hong Kong, and Shenzhen. Especially, I'd like to mention that this meeting has received great support from the U.S. Hong Kong or the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of China, and the Danish Chamber of Commerce in Hong Kong, and the Idea Excel International Enterprise Limited. And I'd like to express my gratitude to all of you, and thanks to all the friends who are joining the meeting today. Now we'll go to the remarks part. I will invite Mr. Jian Zheng, Deputy Director of Commerce Bureau of Shenzhen Municipality, to start his remarks. Mr. Jian, please.
各位朋友，大家下午好。我是深圳市商务局副局长主任。非常感谢各位企业家和关注度今天下午参与我们的交流活动。这里呢也特别感谢香港投资推广署的大力支持，感谢创偲国际企业公司专门在香港给我们设立了线下会场，共同协助我们和丹麦的企业共同的一个交流。这里呢我把深圳的最新的一个情况让大家做一个简单的介绍。众所周知呢，经过40多年的发展，深圳地区的生产总值呢，也就从1980年的2.7亿呢，增至了2020年的0.77万亿，就是跻身于亚洲城市的第5位，创造了世界城市发展史上的奇迹。那么深圳的上市主体的数量、创业率度，位居国内的大城市的首位。特别是我们在研发投入上呢，全社会的研发投入呢，占GDP接近5%。Tcfd 国际专利申请量呢2.02万件，连续17年呢居于全国的首位。那么去年呢，深圳的货物进出口领域呢达到了3.05万亿，增长了2.4%。今年的形势呢也是非常好的，在去年基础也有大幅的增长。其中出口呢是占中国内地城市的排名呢是连续28年排名第1。这些数据呢饱满显示了深圳经济的发展的活力韧劲。应该说，深圳市已经成为一个充满魅力、动力、活力、创新力的国际化的一个创新城市。那么这样的一个成绩的取得，也离不开在座各位的支持在此也是深表感谢。那么这里也特别说明一下，深圳和丹麦呢一直保持着密切的经贸往来。那么去年，深圳对丹麦的进出口呢，这个金额呢达到了8.7亿美元，增长了18.5%。那么这个在疫情之下，实际上这样增长是出乎不意。那么截止去年底呢，丹麦在设立投资企业呢已经是有接近40家，实际使用的外资呢超过了1100万美元。我们相信随着我们加强进一步的交流、推动合作，深圳和丹麦之间的经贸往来会越来越密切。这里也给大家说一下，就是在今年的8月，那么位于深圳大同新区乐高乐园的项目开通建设。那么这个建设以后将成为全市最大、功能最齐全、创新要素最多的乐高乐园。这也是深圳和丹麦之间经贸 域发展的核心指示。在新的发展阶段，我们也特别期待香港一起合作，包括今天我们的活动呢，就是和香港一起重点推动丹麦企业在生物医药和绿色低碳方面的技术交流项目的合作，这样也是对丹麦来讲，确实也是这方面有突出的优势。那么这里也向大家说明一下，生物医药产业呢也是深圳重点培育的支柱产业。近年来，深圳生物医药产业的每年增长是超过20%。去年我们深圳也专门出台了促进生物医药产业永续发展若干措施，提出了一核多中心的后卫发展格局。同时呢，深圳也始终践行绿色低碳的发展理念，单位 GDP 能耗在国际上与发达国家相当。那么去年，深圳已经连续6年为全球新能源汽车注册登记数量最多的城市，712.5的浓度呢符合国家的2级标准，归霾天数呢也从去年呢只有3天。中国已经全面确立了2030年前碳达峰和2060年前碳中和目标。那么深圳一直在为这个目标努力。我们相信呢，通过今天的对话，我们一定能够加强深圳、香港和丹麦企业之间的
Recording in progress.
为建设绿色、健康和安全的做积极贡献。最后，预祝本次
Thank you, Mr. Dian. Now I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Wu Dingjian, Project Manager of Shenzhen Luohu District Enterprise Service Center. He'll brief us about comprehensive business environment and the key industries in Luohu District of Shenzhen.
尊敬的各位领导、各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们，大家下午好。我是来自深圳市罗湖区企业服务中心的邬定健，非常高兴参加此次中国和丹麦经贸合作交流会。那么向大家来介绍整个深圳市的整体情况，以及深圳市罗湖区的重点产业布局和综合营商环境。深圳呢位于中国的东南沿海，南边呢与香港相连。2020年实现了 GDP 总量 2.77 万亿元，经济总量位于亚洲的第5，是一个区位优越、富有经济活力的城市。与纽约和东京相似，深圳是一个典型的移民城市，市民平均年龄达到了33岁，然后与国际超过56个国家和地区88个城市建立了友好城市的关系，形成了独特的国际朋友圈。深圳一直以来也是外商来华布局的重点考量之地，截至目前已经有300家世界500强企业来深投资，并吸引了全球超过170个国家和地区的投资者在深布局项目。深圳所处的粤港澳大湾区更是面积达到 5.6 万平方公里，人口超过7000万，经济总量达到了 11.6 万亿元，集聚了19家本土培育的世界500强企业总部，可以说是中国开放程度最高、经济活力最强、科技创新最活跃、人口最集中的区域之一。那么接下来我将为大家简要介绍一下深圳市罗湖区的重点产业和综合营商环境。罗湖地处深圳的中心城区，与香港仅仅1河之隔，山水相依，口岸相通，既拥有城市繁华，又满目的绿水青山。罗湖区是中国改革开放的策源地，也是深圳的第一个建成区。罗湖才曾经是深圳的代名词。1979年深圳建市，市名就来自于深圳的罗湖镇，罗湖的深圳镇。罗湖还是深圳速度与深圳高度的体现。1985年建成的3天1层楼的国贸大厦，1995年建成的中日友好合作典范的帝王大厦，2011年建成的金鸡100大厦，都是当时深圳的第一高楼。2004年，华润大厦第一次将国际甲级写字楼的产品及服务标准带到深圳，并超过90%的入驻企业为世界500强企业。罗湖还是连接广州、深圳、香港的一个大湾区核心枢纽。 坐拥全国最大的陆路口岸群，其中罗湖口岸更是深港之间最大的交通枢纽，也是全国第2大客流量的陆路口岸。罗湖还有一半山水一半城的美誉，城市绿化覆盖率达到了65.5%，并获得国家生态文明建设示范区，荣获中国最美生态宜居名城、中国最美绿水青山生态名城等称号，是全国 GDP 产值2000亿元俱乐部中唯一一个空气质量比肩欧盟的城区。2020年，在经历疫情的冲击情况下，罗湖区的经济社会仍然取得了较好的成绩，实现了地区生产总值2450亿元，增长3%，每平方公里产出 GDP 31.1亿元，人均可支配收入达到了6.7万元。可以说，42年的改革开放沉淀是我们顺利战胜疫情、保持高质量发展的坚实基础。接下来我将简要介绍一下罗湖区的重点产业布局。罗湖区的经济结构以服务业为主，第3产业占整个 GDP 比重的超过96%。在产业布局上，罗湖致力于以做大总部经济为主，并以金融、商贸、商务服务以及战略性新兴产业为4大支柱产业，黄金珠宝、文化创意为2大特色产业。其中，生命健康和绿色低碳更是罗湖发展前景良好的新兴产业。在生命健康产业领域，罗湖拥有丰富的医疗服务资源，如深圳市人民医院、罗湖区人民医院。依托这些丰富的医疗资源优势，罗湖还集聚了一批大健康领域的重点企业，包括医药研发的重点企业新营医药。新营医药的刘新总今天也受邀请来到我们活动现场，将在稍后的环节中向大家互动交流。此外，还有医疗信息化企业聚顶医疗、医疗器械企业迪安诊断、奥洛瑞医疗、真脉生物、易普森、汇松科技以及宏济医疗等等。罗湖一直以来都在全力发展生命健康产业集群，将重点以清水河生命健康创新基地、东小布兴生命健康产业基地为核心，大力引进大健康领域的重点企业，并共将释放超过190万平方米的产业空间，为发展生命健康产业提供充足的空间保障。在绿色低碳方面，罗湖始终积极践行可持续发展理念，持续推动城区可持续来发展。在清洁能源领域，全国的5大城市燃气公司中有3大龙头企业齐聚罗湖，分别是中国燃气、港华燃气和华润燃气。深圳燃气作为本土优质的供应商，也扎根罗湖，形成了良好的集聚态势。其中，中国燃气为布局发力碳达峰、碳中和，积极发展新规划，将重点研究氢能利用、商业储能、分布式光伏以及碳资产管理等新兴领域。在绿色建筑领域，中国建筑装饰100强企业中前10有4家企业在罗湖区扎根发展，分别是科源、洪涛、瑞和和广田集团。近年来，他们都在中国燃气为新能源、节能低碳以及智能化领域创新布局产业链。最后是商务服务方面，罗湖商务服务业已经连续9年的保持2位数增长，是所有行业中增速最快的产业，目前已经占 GDP 的比重超过7%。值得一提的是，全球的4大会计师事务所中，已经有德勤、普华永道、安永等3家企业在罗湖扎根发展。稍后，德勤中国的合伙人李伟总也将带来一个主题发言，并聚集了一个超过200家的律师事务所、会计师事务所以及税务师事务所，为企业发展提供专业的服务支撑，成为经济高质量发展的新引擎。罗湖始终坚持高质量发展理念，致力于打造一流的营商环境， 截至目前，已经连续2年被评为中国营商环境100家示范县市的第5名。政务事项100%实现了最多跑1次。罗湖还高度重视企业服务工作，努力为企业提供全流程、全周期、全方位的服务。2020年7月，罗湖区政府成立了招商引资和企业服务的专职机构罗湖区企业服务中心，将统筹服务资源，一个入口汇总企业诉求，一个出口发布政策信息，充分为企业提供综合配套服务，包括投资指引、政策咨询、企业选址，并协助企业办理各项审批以及优惠申请，搭建一个友好的政府和企业沟通的桥梁，并促进优质项目对接。罗湖每年都会举办上百场政府与企业之间、企业与企业之间的洽谈会和培训会，充分促进政府与企业之间的业态合作、供需对接，助力企业完善价值链，构建生态圈，为企业落户以及落户后的做大做强做好悉心服务和强大保障。女士们、先生们，罗湖是一个开放包容、一业宜居的城区。在这里，我诚挚地邀请大家来罗湖寻找合作伙伴，投资兴业。罗湖将用最大的诚意共谋发展，用最优的环境共同成长，用最好的生态共创未来。谢谢大家，非常期待与各位在罗湖相遇。
Thank you, Mr. Wu.
谢谢吴炳坚先生。下一位的演讲嘉宾呢是黄楚峰先生，他是香港投资推广署大湾区业务发展主管。
In Hong Kong, Mr. Huang, please.
各位深圳市商务局的领导，大家好，我是香港投资推广署。很高兴我们今天又有机会一起推广深圳和香港的投资优势。下面我会简单用英语介绍一下香港跟粤港澳大湾区的投资机遇。谢谢。Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
女士们、先生们，大家上午好，特别是来自丹麦的朋友们，大家上午好。今天我很
and the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area. In the next few minutes, I will go through the opportunities of the what we call the GBA, as well as how you can leverage Hong Kong to grow, expand your business into the GBA and to Southern China. We always ask the question, why you choose Hong Kong? Actually, a lot of international companies choose Hong Kong, then their choices speak volumes. We do a survey every year on the number of non-local companies operating in the city. And there are over 9,000 based on our very recent survey operating in Hong Kong. They do all sorts of operations, sales, marketing, R&D, distribution, and about 1,500 of them set up the regional headquarters in this city. This is the survey I talked about. We do the main sources of the company, mostly from mainland China, about 1/3, and then the rest come from Japan, US, UK, and Singapore. They choose Hong Kong for very obvious reasons. The geographical location from Hong Kong, within 5 hours of flight, you can reach half of the world's population. There's a free flow of information, very simple and low tax system here, and excellent communication, transport, and all sorts of other infrastructure. So you can see different types of business choose Hong Kong as their operation base. In addition to multinational giants corporation, Hong Kong also have a very vibrant startup and fintech ecosystem. The number of startups has skyrocketed in recent years. There are over 3,700 startups operating in Hong Kong, and they are hiring more and more people in the city. And the founders of the startups are from a very diverse background. Most are from Hong Kong, but there are many are from mainland China, from UK and Europe and India. So they are really a diverse background. Most of them, of course, Hong Kong being an international financial city, are engaged in fintech. There are over 600 fintech operating in Hong Kong. So allow me to briefly introduce, in addition to the strength of Hong Kong, how you can use Hong Kong to expand into the Greater Bay Area. The Greater Bay Area is a region mentioned in the previous speaker in southern China in the province of Guangdong, comprising different cities, 9 cities in the mainland, and plus Hong Kong and Macau. The development plan announced almost 3 years ago focused on several key areas. Noteworthy mentioning is, of course, innovation and technology, also a modern surface industry, and also infrastructure connectivity. I think these, and also a high quality living environment. I think many of these focus would be beneficial, and also the strong point of companies from Denmark who can also leverage your expertise and your experience to help development in the Greater Bay Area. For our audience in Hong Kong, this slide needs no introduction. Hong Kong located at the heart of Asia. We have one country, 2 systems. So we have enjoy a high degree of economic freedom and independent judiciary under a familiar common law system, and also a robust financial ecosystem. The tax rate is also very low. It's 8.25 for the first 2 million Hong Kong dollars profit. We have no sales tax, capital gain tax, estate tax, global taxation. We don't know. We don't understand the terms, so because we don't have any of them here in Hong Kong. The reason why many companies use Hong Kong as a base for the Greater Bay Area is that, one, they set up the regional headquarters here. They can find many business partners in Hong Kong to expand into GBA and into mainland China. And also a lot of opportunity to sell directly to the increasingly wealthy 86 million population in the GBA. Hong Kong has a robust intellectual property protection, and you can do R&D at Hub University in Hong Kong, as well as join R&D with Shenzhen. As you all are aware, by now Shenzhen has a very robust R&D atmosphere and ecosystem. And last but not least, Hong Kong is an excellent place to raise capital. Hong Kong ranked often top 1 or 2 as an IPO center in the world for the past few years. And the opportunities, the Hong Kong SAR government is taking the opportunity of GBA very seriously. And in the recent policy address, which is the guiding document of the SAR government every year, there is more emphasis on the development of the Greater Bay Area, cooperation with Shanghai or Shenzhen, as well as integration with the 14th Five-Year Plan of mainland China. Hong Kong is developing a new north metropolis in the northern region of Hong Kong bordering Shenzhen. It will consist of a lot of R&D park, science park, as well as surface industry complex and a residential area. In the interest of time, I won't go through all of them here, but if you're interested in a PowerPoint, please feel free to contact the organizer, and we are happy to share the information with you. So, as I mentioned earlier, one of the key cooperation between Hong Kong and Shenzhen is the Innovation and Technology Park at the border of 2 cities. Will be open in the year 2024, which allow a great facilitation of investment and R&D elements between the 2 cities. In addition to cooperation between Hong Kong and Shenzhen, there are a lot of science and technology zone or parks all across the GBA, managed by different cities in the region. So through contacting Invest Hong Kong and our counterpart, Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, you can gain access to these, collaborate with these different science and R&D park all across the region. This is the Hong Kong Shenzhen Innovation and Technology Cooperation Zone I mentioned earlier. Its development is under full swing. And if you are in the financial service sector, I'm sure you will appreciate the rising middle class in China, estimated will be 660 million by 2025. And there are also increasing number of high net worth individual and ultra high net worth individual in the city of Guangzhou and Shenzhen alone. So all of these increasingly wealthy consumers are in need of financial services and related services. One of the schemes connecting Hong Kong with the rest of the GBA is the Wealth Management Connect scheme, announced operation in just 1 or 2 months ago. In a nutshell, it's allow individual investor from Hong Kong and Macau to invest in financial product offered in other mainland GBA cities and vice versa. That's create a lot of opportunity for financial institutions in the whole region to facilitate the flow of investment between among the entire GBA cities. And if you are in the business and professional service sector, there are a lot of facilitation measures for lawyers, for architect, engineering, and construction companies based in Hong Kong to expand into the Greater Bay Area. So if you invest in Hong Kong, you become a Hong Kong company and you also benefit from these facilitation measures. And for lifestyle and creative industries, if you want to sell products into the GBA, the easiest way is to use Hong Kong to sell cross-border e-commerce, and for retail, food trading, hospitality service, and creative industry design and whatnot. So the opportunity for the Greater Bay Area through Hong Kong is to benefit from the excellent infrastructure, as well as the co-connectivity between Hong Kong and the rest of GBA. So in the interest of time, I just briefly go through all the strengths Hong Kong has to offer. There are a lot of opportunities in different business sector. So please feel free to contact me. We can assist you to expand into the GBA through Hong Kong. And also our services, our offices across Europe can also help you to get more information about the region and to facilitate your plan, your business expansion plan. So just feel free to contact me. If you have any question, please let us know. So thank you very much, and thank you again for my invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Huang. Ladies and gentlemen, the market always senses the new trend. It also favors investors that can seize the opportunities. Now it's time to listen to the voice of enterprises and the business associations. First, let's welcome Mr. Peter Borg-Hansen, Director of Sensor China, to introduce Denmark's business engagement in China. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm just finding my slides here. I hope you can all see it. As I said, my name is Peter Hansen. I am the director of a company called Sense China. We are part of a larger organization that is called the Confederation of Danish Industry, or DI for short. DI is, in fact, Denmark's main business association, located in Copenhagen, but with offices in around the world, 10 or 11 countries in the world. And we are also represented, of course, here in China. So I am physically located in Shanghai. DI, very, very briefly, I will talk a little bit more about why we are here and more importantly, why our members are here, why the Danish companies are in China. But just very briefly about DI, we are in Denmark, we are mostly a political organization. We help our members to work on business conditions that are preferential for the business community. So you can say we lobby government for that purpose. But out of Denmark, we obviously also help our members with all kinds of functions, mostly related to developing their business presence in big markets, in important export markets. Denmark is a small country, so it's very important that we help our companies get out into the world and sell some of their products in the big and interesting markets. And of course, China is one of those. DI has currently approximately 18,500 members. You have to be a private company to become a member of DI. We are also a private association. You pay a certain fee as a company for your membership, and then of course you get some services in return. As you can see from this picture, we have quite a number of I would say most of the major and thankfully also many smaller and medium-sized Danish companies as our members. We also have international companies. Perhaps you can recognize a couple of the logos here: Huawei, China Telecom from China. And that is, of course, because they have subsidiaries in Denmark working on research, development, sales, whatever. And they become members of DI to support their business presence inside Denmark. But the reason why we are here today is, of course, more to talk about the opportunities for Danish, Chinese business cooperations and partnerships here in China. And I just want to give you a brief outline of how and why some of the Danish companies, and more specifically the members of DI, have been in China over the years. You can say that the Danish presence in China really started to take off in the late 1980s, early 90s. And the first real attraction, this was at a time where the market presence was perhaps not so immediate, so attractive for foreign companies. It was difficult to sell products in China due to pricing strategies and so forth. But one big attraction was, of course, to produce, to manufacture here in China. So what we saw in the 1980s was, 90s, was an inflow of a large number of Danish companies, mainly the very big multinational companies, but increasingly also other types of companies who started up production in China. I would say that manufacturing has been we can find Danish companies with manufacturing all over China, but there has been some areas where the concentration has been larger, mainly here in the greater Shanghai area. The Jiangsu area with Suzhou, Kunshan was a popular place for Danish companies to start up in those days. And later on, we also have developed some major clusters for Danish industries in places like Tianjin and Beijing in general. Unfortunately, we have not seen so much as we would like to in the southern part of China yet, but we do know that there is a big awareness from Danish companies about all the exciting things that are happening in southern China in general, and of course in Shenzhen in particular, being a technology frontrunner of not just China but of the world really. So what we have seen over the years is, of course, also that Danish companies have expanded their presence, their strategies for being in China, away from only supply chain towards sales. more and more sales. Most of the companies, I would say up to 80 or 90% of the Danish companies that have a physical establishment in China today are here to sell to the Chinese market. Some of them still have major manufacturing operations, and some of them still use that as a global supply chain activity, but it's mainly directed towards the Chinese market. But perhaps even more interestingly, we have also seen a great interest, or we are seeing a great interest from Danish companies in what's all the exciting things that are happening on China's technology scene. China has become an innovation front runner. Many exciting new developments on that field in many different industries are suddenly coming out of China. This is something that Danish companies want to be a part of. This is something they see a business opportunity in, and that's why we also see a larger concentration of Danish companies now entering the R&D and innovation field in China. So what can we expect in the future? Well, first of all, more of that, more of focus on R&D, innovation, and so forth. But if we broaden the perspective a little bit and look at where, which areas of business will Danish companies, can we expect Danish companies to pursue going forward in China? Where are the expectations for growth in China? I would point out that especially three developments are very important in that aspect. The green transition of China, obviously, this is an extremely prioritized area, not just in China, but all over the world. All cities, all regions here have set targets for carbon emission reductions, for energy efficiency, for everything related to creating a greener and leaner and cleaner environment, as we call it. And at the same time, this is, of course, one of the areas where Denmark feels that we have a strong position. This is an area that has been very much in focus for Danish companies over the years, and we have strong players, strong companies already present here in China, and we can see that many more are looking to explore business opportunities in this field. Health and lifestyle, similar. The large Danish pharmaceutical companies have enjoyed a strong development in China over the years. For companies such as Novo Lundbeck, that you may know, they already have a large part of their global turnover here in China. Again, we're also seeing the next level of Danish companies now eyeing opportunities in being part of the Chinese development. So we see the small and medium-sized, perhaps with more specialized niche products and solutions also finding the way here. And then an area that is not so much in focus perhaps in China, but where we do also see, based on the central government and also many provincial local governments priorities, that China is moving to do much more on elder care and welfare going forward. There is a growing number of people in China getting older. We can see the demographic development. China is aging, and some would even say perhaps aging fast. So it's important to make sure that the generations that are now, when they leave the labor market and go into retirement, that they're well taken care of, and that there are solutions and so forth in place for providing for these people. This is again one area where Denmark has had a lot of priority, has had a lot of focus over the years. We have some solutions that are interesting also in a Chinese perspective. We have companies with products that are already looking at making a contribution to China in this field. So there are many interesting aspects. Obviously, under all these three developments that I point out here, you can, on an industry level, point at everything from food companies to pharmaceuticals to automation companies. There are solutions that cover the developments in all of these three areas. So I think it's safe to say we will see a much bigger and larger presence from from Danish companies in China going forward. And of course, all of them hope to be able also to team up with strong local partners. We know that's always a good way of doing business in China. finding strong partners, dealing with local communities through local resources, and this is something that Danish companies have their eye on. So I think with those words, I will say thank you for being able to make a little contribution here on behalf of DI and our Danish members. I think this is a great event you have put on, and I hope you wish you further success. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Bo Hansen. Next, please welcome Ms. Anita Vogel, Chairman of Danish Chamber of Commerce in Hong Kong, to make a speech for Danish Chinese networking platforms. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anita Vogel, and I'm the chairperson of the Danish Chamber of Commerce here in Hong Kong. And thank you so much for inviting us here in this very rich program. I'm here today to actually continue what Peter just talked a little bit about, the networking platform. So as you could see, for 30 years, Danish companies have established themselves. So actually today you will find a lot of cooperative platforms where Chinese companies and Danish companies, they meet and they're building relations, they're building the business together. So today I'm representing the network that we're working with the Danish Chamber here in Hong Kong, which is the Trade Council, which is the government of Denmark, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have the Danish Chamber of Commerce in China. We have the Danish Chinese Business Forum, and then we have the Danish Chamber of Commerce here in Hong Kong. So we collaborate as platforms, exchanging experiences and connections for our members. I think we can all agree that China is a very big country. Denmark is a very small country. It almost seems like a Hercules task to find your feet when you enter a big market like China. So I'll just talk a little bit about all of these, and I hope it will give a practical guide to where companies can start their journey or where they can find some advice, no matter where they are. So since the last 30 years, we actually cover all of China with the Trade Council. So you can see here in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangdong already established Trade Council. There are sector teams that are professional into the sectors of energy, environment, and water, food, health, and design. So for companies looking for partners here, this is a good platform to reach out on. I think there is a QR code. Oh, how do I go back? Yeah, we didn't capture the QR code for contact, but the contact to get in touch with the Trade Council, which is the Danish government, is Morten Kruse. And again, you can ask the organizers for all the details in this PowerPoint. Next is the Danish Chinese Business Forum. So it's a platform based in Denmark. It's member-based. So just as DI members, they join and they collaborate together. They find solutions together. So there is, I don't know why it says XXX, there are 7 employees in the Danish Chinese Business Forum, and they're ready to support and help. So because they're based in Denmark, they're obviously very close to the Danish companies, real-time support there. So they were established in 2005. They have 120 members, and basically, again, a fantastic networking platform for Chinese companies entering China, or for Danish companies who wants to know more about China. I would say that Peter Berg, Danish industry is very good in providing data back to Denmark on what is the state of the business in China. Then we have the Danish Chambers of Commerce. So this is very more local, more practical knowledge. It's people in the local community that come together. I would say that there is obviously a lot of network. There's a lot of culture. Obviously, the business is in the center of everything we do here. So there are offices in Shanghai, Beijing, and Xiamen. There are 5 employees according to this. And again, here you can scan the QR code and get the contacts here of Nikolai, who is sitting in Shanghai, and they are welcoming everyone to join. Even if companies might just want to explore the how it is to work with Danish companies, it is a good way to get the feel, get under the skin of Danish companies, under the community. We have Patrick here today, who is fully immersed with the Danish community here in Hong Kong and can talk more about that. And then finally, the Danish Chamber of Commerce, of which I'm headed, again, a business platform here in Hong Kong. You can go to our website, and actually we are this year celebrating 25 years. I think actually it's quite amazing to think that 25 years ago, 30 years ago, Danish and Chinese companies were already forming relationships. Again, a members organization with 21 corporate members and 60 individual members. We have one employee, Belinda, who is here today. And then our reach here in Hong Kong is quite big. So we collaborate closely with the other Nordic chambers, the Swedish Chamber of Commerce, the Norwegian, the Finnish, Eurocham, Hong Kong International Business Committee, and of course, Invest in Hong Kong to explore our local opportunities here. So for the ones that I just presented, it's really the chambers are really a practical hand, local hand, and then obviously the Trade Council, it goes all the way to government level. So I hope this helps a little bit on where to start your journey connecting with Danish companies. This will be a very good start to reach up to either of us. And I think in the Q&A session, you will be able to ask me some questions. Obviously, I'm from Denmark.
Thank you, Ms. Vogel. Now let's welcome Mr. Jürgen Logstrop, Director of Transform F 1994 apps, for his remarks. CO2 reduction in waste agriculture management. I can hear you, Mr. Logstrop. Will you unmute your microphone?
Hello?
I can hear. It's clear.
Men havde du ikke den i gang i går?
Ja,
Det er ikke det billede, det er forkert.
Det er det, vi går til. Nej, det er ikke den her. Det er den her.
Ja.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. It's okay. No, I can't see your PPT.
For the såkaldt godt se måske min screen, og det kan for det her over vindue. Hello? Det kan godt se.
Now I can see the PPT.
Det er bare din e-mailadresse.
Jamen, den er ude nu. Den er ude, den her. Den kan ikke noget.
Det er bare så ærgerligt. Can you hear us?
Yes. You may go ahead.
Den vil ikke gøre noget.
piece.
Der skal der være lyd på den der.
Jeg kan ikke komme på, jeg kan dele min screen, men jeg kan ikke få lyd på. Jeg tror, det er fra din andens. Can you hear us?
Yes, you may go ahead.
So strange.
Jørgen and Amber, you can please start now. You can speak now. Thanks.
Men vi kan ikke høre noget. Vi kan ikke høre noget som helst. Kan I godt høre os? Nå, okay.
Kan du godt høre os?
Ja, så går vi godt. Okay, fint. Ja, okay.
Jørgen, please speak. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We are a Danish company working with environment protection, and we are we have been in the market about 35 years and set up about 2,000 projects. I'll just show you some practical way of reducing CO2. This is a project in Colombia, in South America, where we treat about 600 cubic meter wastewater per day in a green technology, and we recirculate 300 cubic meter. Asesco is a metal industry where we, in this way, have reduced the water consumption with more than 50%. In car wash, you can see here, we can reduce and we can recirculate and reduce the water consumption with 90%. What you see just behind the car is 2 small pots. That is all what is needed. It is a treatment system, a green treatment system, which is running with about this, in this case, about 15,000 car wash per year. It looks like you see here, this is from an oil industry where we treat the wastewater. Why is the green technology important? Because if you look at the temperature in the area, in the green area, it will max be 28 degrees. In the hot area, in the sand, it can be up to 60 degrees. That means the vegetation is reducing the temperature. That means we get a lower dew point, and that in this way we can evaporate a lot of water. We can get rainfall because we have a lower dew point. We produce oxygen and we take up carbon dioxide. So that is a way where you can do it, and you can do it from small projects, about 3-5 cubic meter, up to several hectares. Okay, yeah. We do the same thing indoor. This is a air treatment indoor in a project in Amsterdam. We treat all the air through a filter system which is green, and in this way you have a better indoor climate. You reduce all the contaminants you have in there, and you get a better air conditions. Yes. Here you can see that is just that you have what is going on if you stay in this. You can see the red one is how people feel, and if they get the green project, they feel much better, and they have reduced headaches, they have reduced dry skin and things like that. So that is, but you can look at that afterwards. Yes. The other thing we do is that we take garbage and transfer it to biofertilizer. This is a project where we, in 5 days, with high temperature, in a totally closed system, transfer the garbage to biofertilizer. So that is a way where you can take your resources from the waste, use it, and if you want, we can also put in a biogas production before, so that you have energy, you have biofertilizer based on the garbage. Yeah. Here you can see the temperature, which is coming up to 70 degrees. That means it kills all the bacteria which can give problem for diseases. Yeah. This is another way of which you can use. If you look at this house with a small ventilation on top, this is based on that we intake the air outside. This is the air intake is there. It is going down in the underground, and in the underground we have here in Denmark, we have about 7 degrees. That means if it is hot weather, then it's cool down. If it is cool weather, it is heated up. In this way, we can regulate the temperature in the house without doing any form of energy consumption. So that means we can with this ventilation can regulate much better than with mechanical. We have used that in schools in Sweden with 60% reduction of energy. You see here, we have also used it in agriculture, in pig production. You see the air intake with a blue part, and then it goes up to the pigs, which are producing ammonium and CO2. That is going up to the second floor where it is treated, and then we can produce tomato or whatever it is. If you look at the figure here, you can see this is the outer temperature. If it's 30 degrees, then it will be cooled down to between 15 and 20. If it's cold, it will be heated up to about 10 degrees. And that is a way, and that is a total natural way. Yeah. So what you see is that by this temperature you have here, you can regulate so that you always have a very good temperature inside. And the air is going like this without doing anything, because it is a pressure from this level up to this level, which is giving how much air we can get through. So it's a dimension system to do that. Okay. Yeah, and so that is just to give you a what can be done to reduce the energy consumption and to raise the binding of CO2. So we do that in agriculture, we do that in waste, we do it in towns. Thank you.
Mr. Lostrap for introduction. Next, please welcome Dr. Liu Shaohui, founding president of a Society for Innovative Healthcare Hong Kong, for introduction of China and the world's medical innovation development direction. Welcome.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me to these Denmark-China trade exchange meetings. I'm Liu, president of the society. President of the Society for Innovative Healthcare Hong Kong. Our society is a group of academics, scientists, managers, entrepreneurs who are keen to promote innovations in health as well as healthcare for solving complex problems. Today, I'm going to give a brief remarks on what are the opportunities in China and the world on the medical innovation development directions. Okay, here are some facts which we can easily get off. Okay, so the world is good in the sense that we are getting longer life, and I hope happier life if possible. So you can see here the statistic shows that the world is having 700 million of elderly, and we are having a smaller group of babies. So in that sense, we are becoming not only extending our longevity in life, but also we are aging. So the world is an aging planet with human beings being achievement in these medicine and also biotechnologies. So here is another statistics on the life expectancy for the world of female is 75.6. In Hong Kong, it is 87. So Hong Kong is taking the lead of the world. And I'm also expecting that the Asians, a lot of countries are also catching up. How about men? We are not doing too bad. We now hit the Hong Kong man is hitting the 83 years old expected life expectancy. For the world is 70s. So that is a evolving trend, as you can see. But however, on the other side, as we look at on the chronic diseases, that the leading cause of death are the CVA, cerebral vascular disease, the hypertensions, the diabetes, and etc. Okay, so there were different epidemiology in different countries, but more or less they are convergent, particularly in the developed world. Okay, so the Europe, the Northern Europe, as well as China, particularly eastern part and also southern part of China. Okay, so the above facts tells us that there will be huge demand of medical services. The demand become more and more complex with the development of advances in medicine as well as biotechnologies. So this year with the COVID-19, we see that the world is collaborating to put more effort against the virus, the COVID virus. But who tells? There may be other viruses coming on. So there will be needed more collaboration, not only in sharing the policy and also infection control measure, but also thinking of new technologies to handle these fatal infectious agents. In that case, preventive medicines play a major role in protecting the community. So China has set a very good example for the world that the government is endeavored to protect the life of people and ensure that containment may not be the solution. Extinction may be the best way out because we know that COVID virus is a zoonotic disease. What does it mean as a zoonotic disease? That is a disease from the animal that jump over to the human. So that is quite a complex etiology for this such kind of changes. Why can an animal disease become a human disease? So it related very much on the climate changes, the our destruction of the protections, the development of human being, in fact, had affect the ecology as a whole. So all these is boiled down to preventive medicine is important. And within the preventive medicines, in order to protect the life of people, innovations, technology becomes a good stand to tackle the huge demand. And of course, you can see that there will be a huge market because not only the public health, but also big corporations in pharmacologies, in biotechnologies, as well as individuals who become more aware of their life and safety. Okay. So this will be my short conclusion on the coming medical innovation directions. There will be research on vaccines. This has demonstrated very well. So you see within less than 18 months, there were lots of biotechnology that developed different kinds of technology in vaccination for COVID-19 infections. There are more and more drugs coming out. The digital medicines as represented by the online consultations platform, the 5G technologies for telemedicine, etc., has demonstrated the power of digitalizations, or in other words, the computerizations of our health services. Artificial intelligence, machine learning is an uncommon word in healthcare in the past decade. But nowadays, it becomes more and more common. As a medical practitioner myself, do I feel threatened with this all newer robotics and also the artificial intelligence? Of course not. I will be likely to make friends with them because they will help me in being more accurate and also timely diagnosis and also treatment. So another trend would be the robotic medicine care service, as well as the 3D printing technology. And subsequently, you can have some fantasy about what will happen in futures. If we have some disease in our organs, we can go to a supermarket and exchange from one organ with another organ. Okay, that may be a kind of daydreaming nowadays. But mind you, our technology, particularly in biology development, cannot be underscored that it will have a great development in that sense. So all in all, we need to consider what else in order to achieve our dreams. We need to get more talents together. So that's why I've been mentioned about at the start of my talk that the world is collaborating. So we're collaborating not only because of policy, because of international relationship, but because we are bringing the talents together. They can share their experience, they get more training. This is very important, particularly if we have the Northern Europe, as well as Hong Kong, China, the Greater Bay Area, etc., to working together. So the working model may be changed. With the telemedicine, we can be more easily access to those needy persons. Okay. Some may be concerned about the ethical issues because with all these, playing God, human being playing God, are there any ethical concern? Definitely yes. Okay. So we like to have some wise men come and help us. We also need capital investment and also some time for us to further develop. Okay, so in this sense, I think today we have heard a lot of other speakers spoken about entrepreneur and also company who can come together and have cooperations to develop what is needed. So let's build a better world with advanced medical technology for everybody. That is my key message for everybody. And on behalf of the Society for Innovative Healthcare Hong Kong, I wish this webinar a very good success and see you later. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Now let's welcome Mr. Eric Xiao, CEO of Idea Excel International Enterprise Limited, to deliver a speech about China-Denmark Virtual Trade Expo 2022. Please.
Hello, my name is Eric Xiao. I would like to take this opportunity to announce that we are going to organize the China-Denmark Virtual Expo 2022. Many businesses have not been able to do due to the pandemic. Hence, we really would like to provide an online platform to help you to do business even you cannot travel freely. The following time, Alex will show you the details. Alex, please.
Thank you. 女士们、先生们，我以下用那个英文来简单介绍一下我们明年要举办的中丹的贸易平台。Good morning, Denmark, and good afternoon, China, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong. It is I have the pleasure to introduce you what we're going to do next year. It is an online platform. It is a China-Denmark Virtual Expo 2022. And if we look at the world buying power by GDP, China is huge, and as we all know, that the China population is 1.4 billion, and the volume of the buying potential is exceptionally huge. So entering the China market is one of the key business trends nowadays, well, especially now the new normal after the pandemic. Everybody is restricted to travel. So we have some drawback of the traditional exhibition, that you physically have to, travel to the venue and spend all the money to showcase your product, your service, and then you have to stand by there for a few days to a week to meet your customers, which is quite difficult nowadays, especially you cannot travel freely. So also one drawback is you are only able to serve or you meet the people on the site with you. So our idea is to make a online platform using the technology that especially we have 5G now, and the Wi-Fi connection is everywhere. So we want to have this platform so that both the Danish companies and the companies in China, they can meet virtually, all right? So there will be no restriction for whatever industry. Everybody can come in, no subject schedule and space restriction. So I believe everybody will have their computer and the Wi-Fi connection in everywhere in China and also in Denmark. And the cost will become much, much lower. And the time for sales information, pushing online and doing the communication is much, much faster and much, much more effective. And this is going to become a very high performance trend that everybody is looking for. And then you can have additional service like translation and some other online service attached to it. So it will be sort of a good way to showcase your products to our Chinese customers. And also the technology will allow a 3D models of a booth that just give you a perception that you are showcasing your products. And also there will be a service on the platform that you can live stream to showcase your products and service, okay? So what happens if you miss the streaming? We have the function that you can get the video playing in loop. So anybody can watch the playback at any time. So you won't miss the chance. And also there will be a function of online meetings. The customer or the potential business partner will be able to make an appointment with you so that you two can meet online. So you can do like face-to-face so that it makes things much more easier. Then you're not able to go to the actual place, like you're not able to travel to China, etc., etc. And then after that, we have a service to provide all the contact lists for both Denmark and China. So everybody who participate in this platform, they will have we have not decided the days. It's probably like 3 to 5 days. So everybody will come in and then they have a great opportunities to get to know each other. And after that, they can have all the contacts. They can, they can communicate afterward. And then we will be the people that who can help in between. Okay, now today or later on, we will be doing more webinars to help both sides to understand both markets. So get to know, the first step will be get to know to understand the market. I believe the China market is huge potential. As Anita just mentioned, Denmark is not very large. but the quality and the service are very, very famous and welcome by China. So the Danish product has a very, very good standard and good reputation. So now we know the market. And then if you really want to start doing business with China, just join the China Denmark Virtual Expo 2022. And when you do it next year, I mean in May, you will be meeting the potential business partner. And we look forward, we can help you in such a way. Thank you for your time, and I hope we will see you in the expo. Thank you, and Eric, thank you also.
Thanks, Alex. I look forward much your participation of this virtual expo in May next year. Meanwhile, we will keep organizing webinars of different topics. I hope we can help you meet new customers and get new business for a great year to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your splendid introduction. Now I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Mars Lee, partner consulting of Deloitte China, to share his remarks about opportunities of international exchange center and digital trade. Welcome.
好，谢谢志荣。各位现场和线上的朋友，大家好，我是德勤中国政府和公共事务行业的合伙人李伟，非常高兴啊，今天参加中丹经贸合作的交流会。那我也呢在开始的时候呢，跟大家简单介绍一下德勤中国在深圳发展的情况。那德勤呢是全国领先的专业服务机构啊，为客户提供审计见证、管理咨询、财务咨询、风险咨询、税务及相关服务。德勤透过遍及全球逾150个国家的地区成员所网络及关联机构，为财富全球500强的企业中的80%企业都提供了专业服务。德勤于1917年呢在上海设立办事处，德勤品牌由此进入中国。如今，德勤中国为中国本地和在华的跨国及高增长企业客户提供了全面的审计见证、管理咨询、财务咨询、风险咨询和税务服务。德勤中国致力于为中国的会计准则、税务制度及专业人士培养做出贡献。德勤中国是一家中国本土成立的专业服务机构，由德勤中国的合伙人所拥有。早在2021年呢，德勤在深圳设立办公室，并在2008年设立了管理咨询团队，完成了五大服务线在深圳的全部设立。2019年呢，德勤在深圳成立了大湾区的双创中心，凭借科创一体化的专业服务能力，不断加速创新成果的转化落地。同时呢，担负起成为向海外精英人才推介大湾区的窗口。在明年的5月份，德勤牵头组织的首届大湾区创新训练营将携手大湾区9+2城市的行业精英在深圳举办。那接下来呢，作为专业服务机构的代表，与大家分享2点中丹经贸合作建议关注的在大湾区的机遇。首先是国际交往中心，粤港澳大湾区是高度市场化的超级国际交往中心，是由港澳、深管会、广佛照、珠中江为核心的正不断融合、相互成就的国际交往枢纽。伴随着自由贸易协定CEPA、中国东盟自由贸易区升级到 RCEP， 再到中国与欧盟全面投资协定，到发起加入 CPTPP 全面与进步的跨太平洋合作伙伴关系协定，中国正积极拥抱和促进全球的一体化发展。深圳更是从过去的开放窗口到经济特区，再到社会主义先行示范区，在粤港澳大湾区中发挥重要的引擎作用。随着软硬件和营商环境的不断优化，深圳实现新时期高质量发展，也同时走在质量、效率和动力变革的路上。以下谈3个方面承载未来交往中心的趋势。第一，国际区域性的运营中心。在新时期的内外需双循环的战略机遇下，深圳与香港是国内企业扬帆海外、跨国公司进入内地市场的重要桥头堡。 是区域性中心的最佳选择。第二，国际人才创业发展中心，具有包容性基因的大湾区将为全球人才提供学习、就业、创业、发展与品质生活的沃土。第三，国际文化交流中心，开放包容本就是粤港澳大湾区与生俱来的气质。香港本就是著名的国际性大都市，东西方文化在这里交融和碰撞，粤港澳大湾区的融合发展将进一步提供更广阔的交流发展空间。我们有理由相信，未来的大湾区将是跨国企业兴业、国际人才发展的充满活力的国际交往枢纽，也将是创新商业模式的最佳实践与应用转化中心。其次，数字贸易的枢纽港。数字贸易是数字技术在贸易的订购或交付的过程中发挥了主要作用的国内商业和国际贸易活动，主要包括了电子商务、数字产品和数字服务。数字贸易呈现了环节精简、成本降低、参与者广泛、贸易生态智能互联和充分体现个性化需求的5大发展趋势。深圳货物贸易出口总额连续28年连冠全国，服务贸易出口进出口总额也超过了700亿美元，更是中国重要的数字经济应用与转化中心，为数字贸易提供了优良的土壤。今年9月2日晚，国家主席习近平在2021年中国服贸会峰会上致辞时也表示，我们将加强服务贸易规则的建设，支持北京等地开展高水平的国际自由贸易规则协定对接先行示范，打造数字贸易的示范区。在同期发布的2021年数字贸易发展与合作报告当中指出，2020年全球数字贸易的贸易规模逾3万亿美元，在服务贸易的占比从2021年的48.1%稳步提升到2020年的62.8%。数字贸易服务在疫情面前表现出强劲的韧性。以数字化、网络化、智能化为主的特征是新一轮科技革命和产业革命的这个加速器。数字经济广泛渗透，数字经济蓬勃展开，数字贸易也应运而生，对贸易的方式、贸易对象、贸易结构、贸易格局产生了深远的影响，推动着全球的产业链、供应链、价值链和创新链的深刻变革，成为新一轮全球经济重要的这个推动的作用。那在数字贸易规模排名前10的国家当中，发达国家占了8席，发展中国家只有我们中国和印度。从各国的政策来看，数字贸易规则的制定已经成为新一轮国际贸易准则重构和博弈的重点。在创新发展方面，我们可以从新加坡和美国的经验得到一些启发。新加坡政府与全球流通企业合作，促进贸易的数字化，搭建了各类的数字平台体系，加快在贸易中部署数字技术，推动贸易方式的数字化，如通过公共数字平台，以数字交付、数字结算建立数字贸易的智慧化结算交付体系；通过跨境交易平台，以数字对接、数字订购建立跨境数字贸易智慧化的交易体系。我们发展数字贸易，可以加快在贸易和商业中部署数字技术，与世界主要的金融和制造业公司建立合作关系，以安全的跨境数据流动驱动贸易数字化的发展。美国以大型互联网企业为基础，在服务型制造、跨境电商、金融科技、在线视频、游戏、在线教育、医疗等5大典型应用场景，数字贸易都得到了有效的发展，使得数字贸易的对象进一步数字化。借鉴这些经验，深圳发展数字贸易可以以大型平台和平台服务体系为支撑，以跨界融合的全球性数字化生态为发展方向。数字贸易是新的贸易形式，在技术与贸易准则、规则衔接、交易标准等方面，全球都站在同一起跑线上。相信粤港澳大湾区有条件承载更多推动行业实践发展的职能，机遇无限。最后，衷心的希望中国与丹麦国家经贸合作在粤港澳大湾区、在深圳硕果累累，互惠共赢，两国人民共同富裕、共同发展，分享成功。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Mr. Li. Next, please welcome Mr. Liu Xin, Deputy General Manager of Shenzhen Xinyin Pharmaceutical Co. Limited, to make an exchange of views in the field of biomedicine. Please.
谢谢主持人哈，这个尊敬的各位领导，各位企业代表以及海外的这些同行哈，大家好，我叫刘鑫，是深圳市新营医药有限公司的副总经理。该公司呢主要是负责生物多肽制剂的这个销售推广，还有这个药品的招投标以及市场准入等工作。那么新营医药呢是一家扎根于罗湖区的医药企业，已经有27年了。那主要的业务呢是涵盖进口药物的这个销售代理，还有自研药品的生产、创新药物的研发，以及多肽制剂原料药等等，包括特异食品还有美容护肤品的研发等等生产销售。那么新营医药的成长呢是伴随着中国的改革开放，也伴随着中国医药产业不断的这个升级发展壮大的。那么也得益于这个深圳的这种大的这个改革环境，也得益于我们这个罗湖区的很好的营商环境。那么我下面呢主要是介绍一下我们深圳新医药的话呢几个比较具有代表性的这个我们的实力方面的一些内容，好吧？这个第一个呢是我们在生物多肽研发领域的这个创新能力。那么新医药的话呢，在生物制药领域的话呢，在2009年的时候呢，就开始在多肽领域呢进行这个投入跟建设。那么旗下的这个子公司的话呢，建源医药呢是专业从事多肽原料的合成，包括研发这一块的。那么目前的话呢，已经建立了多肽产品、多肽和多肽蛋白质药物缓释制剂的一些研发技术平台，研发团队呢我们超过了100多人。中心实验室呢有将近4000平米。公司在多肽领域的话呢，申请专利呢有119项，包括已经授权的发明专利49项，包括这个上报国家药监局的10个待批的品种。那么今年的话呢，已经陆续的取得了多肽生产的批文呢有4个，即将获批的有1个，获得临床批件的品种有5个。那么已经申报了美国 FDA 和欧盟 EDQM 的品种有4个。那么我们2018年的时候呢，公司首个一类新药速山来普舒泰的话呢，也获得临床研究批件。临床研究批件。那么第二个我们的能力的话呢，是在传统制药的这个工业生产能力。那么我们在2001年的时候呢，新医药在南京就投资建设了占地220亩的多肽多剂型的药品生产基地。那么引进了专业的技术人才和先进的生产设备，构建了完善的生产和产品质量控制体系。那么我们在南京生产基地的冻干、口服液、喷剂、固体制剂等5条生产线全部通过国家的 GMP 认证，打造了在中药、化学药、原料药、医药保健品领域的生产能力。那么我们现在目前的这个南京新药业的工厂的话呢，我们全自动药品包装线的年包装能力达到了4000万盒，全自动控制的中药提取车间的产量达到了1000万瓶。那么这是我们在传统药物制剂工业的生产能力。第3个呢是指我介绍一下我们在生物多肽原料药以及制剂的规模化生产能力。那么为了实现在多肽领域的这个研发的成果转换，那么我们在15年的时候，我们在湖北咸宁投资建设了多肽原料生产基地，项目总投资额呢是16个亿人民币，首期占地300亩，规划了建设了16条符合美国 FDA、欧盟以及中国 CGMP 要求的多肽原料生产线，目前已经完成建筑面积44000平米，然后6条生产线已经完备。那么我们这个多肽原料的生产基地呢，满足与国内外药品、生物试剂、动物药、美容化妆品、健康食品等企业的这个研发的生产的需求。那么我们也承接了很多海外的一些客户这个原料药这一块。那么这里的话呢，我们在南京除了这个湖北这个呢，我们在南京的这个工业园里面呢，还有4条 已经通过美国 FDA 认证的多肽原料中式生产线和一条注射剂生产线。那么在2017年9月的时候呢，我们当时是以零缺陷通过美国 FDA 的现场质量审计。那么我们所以说在这块我们要可以承接很多的这个 CDMO 的业务，也承接这个其他的国际大型的制药厂以及生物技术研发公司的这个委托，提供新药的研发所需要的非临床和临床实验以及数据分析，包括法规执行，包括中国的这个申报等等的一个专业服务。第4个，我们的核心能力的话呢是非常重要的，在这里呢着重跟大家强调一下，也就是我们通过20多年潜心打造的覆盖全国的医药销售网络和专业化的销售推广团队。那么我们的信营呢，从起家呢就是从销售代理开始，所以我们的核心竞争力呢就是
very good core capacity in sales. Moreover, beginning from the 1990s,
这些产品为主要，包括欧洲的，包括这个瑞士的哈、德国等等好多欧洲的一些产品，通过专业化的学术推广，已经培育出一支高学历、专业化的超过1000人的销售团队。那么这里的话呢，就是包括我们已经打造出来超过10个亿的一些单品，包括德国的麦子鳞片。在过去的10几年里面的话呢，我们基本上实现了全中国的医疗机构以及这个零售药店的这个全覆盖。那么我们目前的话呢，包括全中国的6000多家各级的这个等级医院，包括这个上万家的连锁零售药店等等的，都是跟我们有紧密的合作关系。所以说我们在中国市场这个有非常强的这个渠道和终端推广能力，那也是给我们企业的这个发展奠定一个非常坚实的一个基础啊。那么作为深圳的本土企业，新医药多年来立足于医药健康产业，紧跟国家政策，顺应行业的发展趋势，以研发作为我们的驱动力以我们的这个营销作为我们的这个发动机我们不断的丰富自己的这个产品管线以及产业资源的对接能力。那么我们在生物制药领域的话，我们继续持续的这个探索践行。那么成立于罗湖，发展于罗湖，罗湖区对生命健康产业的重点扶持政策以及高质量的发展理念和服务机制是我们企业发展的这个信心和保障。那么也感谢这个商务局还有罗湖区呢对我们这个大力的支持，为我们企业像今天这样搭建这么好的这个交易平台，这个交流平台，那么也非常感谢。最后呢，我也期待的话呢，就是通过这次交流会呢，能够让更多的这个同行，包括这个欧洲的这个香港的这些同行呢，跟我们进行这个合作，尤其是希望丹麦的这些医药企业来能够跟我们进行合作。那么我想的话呢，如果是丹麦的这个医药企业，你们想进入中国市场，那我们就是一个非常有力的保障，我们就是一个金钥匙那么我们可以承接你们在中国市场的这个所有的推广销售。那么也希望很多这个香港的这个或者说是在这个丹麦的这些同行如果在研发方面包括原料的这个生产那我们刚才讲的这个规模在中国还是非常靠前的。那包括我们在这个创新药的研发方面，我们也希望能够展开更多的广泛的合作最后的话呢，谢谢这个举办方谢谢大家我的这个汇报到这边。
Thank you, Mr. Liu, for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will enter the final part of this meeting, the Q&A session. If you wish to ask a question, please unmute yourself and speak up. Firstly, we'll see if there are any questions from the Denmark side. I will see if there are any questions from the Hong Kong side.
Okay, we don't have any answer. I want to follow.
.我们这边没有其他问题了。好。
Well, I understand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap up our event. I expect our conversations will continue after this event. Thank you all for making time in your busy schedules to join us today. It's been our pleasure to host this event, and I wish you all a pleasant day. Thank you. Bye.
Recording stopped.
the certificate of appreciation to foreign person. May I invite the Sales and Marketing Director of Mini House Media Limited, Mr. Angel Light. Please come up to the stage to receive the certificate of. Thank you, Mr. Light. Please be seated. Ms. Vogel, please remain on the stage. May I invite the CEO of Massive Healthcare Education Company, Mr. Tim Yu. Thank you, Mr. Yu. Please be seated. Ms. Vogel, please remain on the stage. May I invite the President-elect of Journey Chamber International Victoria, Hong Kong, Mr. Manson Chen. Please come up to receive the certificate of. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Please be seated. Ms. Vogel, please remain on the stage. May I invite the CEO of IdeaXcel International Enterprise Limited, Mr. Siu, to come up to the stage to present the certificate to appreciate to Ms. Vogel. Please remain on the stage, please. Lastly, may I invite all the honorable guests to come up to the stage to take a group picture. Thank you all. Please be seated.
Thank you for having me here today to go through the development and outlook of family office, especially in China, in Greater Bay Area. I think I have to. Okay. They're getting me the slides that I prepared it, so bear with me. So family office is getting very popular in the region, especially in Greater Bay Area. As you can see, the purposes of the family office is to help the ultra high net worth families to regenerate their wealth in a timely strategic investment, and structure their assets and control and create value, and also helping their wealth creators, including their entrepreneurship, and also support their family unity, as well as developing their feminine talent. And lots of family offices, choose Hong Kong as their, office location, and because, Hong Kong has been consistently ranked at top on economic freedom and competitiveness. According to, Pricewaterhouse and the World Bank Group, Hong Kong is ranked as world #2 in terms of business-friendly tax system. The free flow of capital within, into and out of Hong Kong is guaranteed under Article 112 of the Basic Law. Business in Hong Kong has also benefits from free flow of information and people. And secondly, can I go back? Can I go back to the previous slide? Yep. Oh, okay. And secondly, because of the excellent Hong Kong geographic location, Hong Kong located, at the heart of Asia, the city offers a high level of international connectivity. There are over 1,100 flights daily to more than 220 destinations worldwide, including about 50 destinations, including about 50 destinations in the mainland, and also by 120 plus airlines. Half of the world's population can be reached within 5 hours of flight. And as you can see, the third point, in terms of the cultural background and policy support. Under the principle of one country, two systems, Hong Kong retains its independent immigration, monetary, fiscal, and taxation systems. As a free port, it also has a separate independent customs territory. For that, it has no restriction on foreign ownership or on the movement of capital, talent, goods, and information. Hong Kong is one of the world's most competitive economies. The city plays a critical role in the internationalization of the renminbi and the opening up of the mainland's financial markets. And also, Hong Kong is the world's largest offshore renminbi hub. And Hong Kong will benefit from deepening reform in the mainland towards a consumption and service-oriented economy and opportunities related to the Belt and Road Initiative and the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, while maintaining a unique economic and legal system different from the mainland China. The city also provides strong intellectual property protection and enjoys independent participation in international forums. Among all the jurisdictions that practice common law, Hong Kong is also the only market that truly applies a bilingual system with both Chinese and English as our official languages. This provides a unique system, a legal and judicial system for international and mainland family offices. So as you can see, most of the family offices, they are the major investors in IPO market, and Hong Kong is indeed the second largest IPO market globally last year. And for family office, we don't have any license regulation in Hong Kong at the moment. So it's very easy to set up your family office in Hong Kong. And also we have a abundant skilled professionals. For example, a CPA, asset managers, and so on in Hong Kong. So it's an ideal place for setting up a family office in Hong Kong. And the potential is huge, as you can see here, the high net worth individuals. The pace of the growing is abundant, massive. As you can see, there's a 6.5 million number of high net worth individuals in year 2019 compared to only 3.3 million in Asia Pacific in year 2010. And in Greater Bay Area, there are about 84,000 plus ultra high net worth families in this area. And it's been increasing by 20% in the past 3 years. And in GPA alone, there are 19,300 plus high net worth families. So when you come across any ultra high net worth families, if they want to set up a family office themselves, you can, refer them to talk to us. We Cash Family Office do provide, a lot of different services, including, the global asset allocation, personal identity planning, establish their family trust. And also we can provide different tax advisory and planning services. And we can also get access to a lot of different offshore IPO opportunities, and so on. And let me, allow me to give a little bit background of ourselves. Cash Financial, we are a listed company in Hong Kong main board. Our stock code is 510, and our holding company is Cash Financial Group. Stock code is 1049. We established it since 1972, so it's about next year will be our 50 years anniversary. And for our company, Cash Wealth Management, we do provide a lot of different comprehensive services, as you can see here. Trust services, insurance, NPF, fund, bond, securities, immigration, tax planning, and so on. So again, if you have any opportunities and if you think of any of your network customers, you're welcome to come to talk to us. I think the organizer here do have our contact. So through them, you can easily get access to our services. So once again, thank you for having me here today. And I'm Eddie Fong, the CEO of Cash Wealth Management. And thank you for your attention.
To share about how
Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy Lam from HKSSA, which is a consultancy firm from Hong Kong helping listed and non-listed companies to have their sustainability, strategic development, and help them to formulate their relevant policies. Thanks for giving me time here to share with you all about something about the climate risk disclosure challenges faced by Hong Kong listed companies. As we all know, Article 6 of the Paris Agreement concerning the international carbon markets was left unsolved at the Paris COP21 in 2015. And following 6 years of the strenuous negotiations, it was finally agreed by all the negotiators in COP26 this year. The deal set rules for carbon markets, potentially unlocking trillions of monies for protecting forests, building renewable energies, also other facilities, etc. We see an increasing momentum of carbon neutrality globally, and capital market becomes to demand for an increasing level of climate risk disclosures. With China's pledge to achieve peak carbon emissions by 2030, carbon neutrality by 2060, companies in China listed in Hong Kong will face more challenges in their journey of low carbon transformation. So, as a listed company in Hong Kong, what should be our concern and how should we prepare for that? In the slide, you can see that there are some risks demonstrated by the research done by the World Economic Forum. Let's have a look on the risks identified before we go into the details, something about the climate risk disclosures. It has basically divided the risk by the World Economic Forum into 5 categories, namely economic, environmental, geopolitical, societal, and technological. Among all the risks, no matter the level of likelihood or impacts, we can see that the environmental risk dominates the top 5 risks, and most of them are highly related to climate change. You can clearly see that climate action failure is considered as one of the top risks around the world. But how exactly will climate change affect us? Let's have a look on one example. According to an analysis conducted by the World Resources Institute, located in the Greater Bay Area, both Shenzhen and Hong Kong are facing extremely high risk of coastal flood. It is no doubt that climate changes have created serious problem of iceberg melting and accelerated the problem of sea level rising. If we do not take any actions of mitigation or adaptation, we may not find our cities in the map anymore in just a few decades' time. So climate change is just an arm's length to us. It's not far and it's not mild. Try to imagine if you were working as a farmer, or you're a property owner, property manager, or factory owner, contractors, or even investor funding in the real estate industries. How should you protect your assets? How can you prepare to live and work in a sinking city? How should you persuade your investors to invest your company under such potential risk brought by climate risk? And as a company management, now should be the right time to think about the actions to manage the potential risk brought by climate change and build your investors' confidence level. In order to enhance the disclosure performance of Hong Kong listed companies and encourage them to take actions to manage the risk, Hong Kong Exchange has updated the ESG disclosure guidelines by requiring the companies to disclose their policies relevant to climate change in 2020. It has also announced recently that no later than 2025, the ESG reporting guideline will be amended again to fully comply with TCFD's requirement. In fact, most of the listed companies in Hong Kong do not have a deep understanding of climate change issues. The TCFD framework can help companies assess their response to risks arising from climate change. It does not only provide a theoretical basis for the measures taken to analyze impacts brought by climate change, but also demonstrate a company's initiative to turn crises into opportunities. With the disclosure pressure from the regulator, Hong Kong listed companies should have greater intention to take actions in identifying the climate-related risks and opportunities and managing all the risks and opportunities found. So what is TCFD? The Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, TCFD, was created in 2015 by the Financial Stability Board to develop consistent climate-related financial disclosures for develop the disclosures by companies, banks, investors to provide information to stakeholders. It is believed that increasing the amount of reliable information on financial institution exposure to climate-related risks and opportunities can strengthen the stability of a financial system, contribute to greater understanding of climate risk, and facilitate financing the transition to a more stable and sustainable economy. The lack of information on climate-related issues, financial impacts may lead to incorrect asset pricing or even improper asset allocation. So the TCFD is a scientific framework that created to help and provide more useful information to different stakeholders, especially investors and shareholders, to make a proper decision after considering the impact of climate change. The four core elements forming the framework of TCFD are namely governance, strategy, risk management, indicators, and targets. By disclosing the information according to this framework, the listed companies can show their ability and performance on handling impacts brought by climate changes under different scenarios, such as the temperature increase from 1.3 degrees Celsius to 2.4 degrees Celsius, or 2.1 degrees Celsius to 3.5 degrees Celsius in the time frame of 2080 to 2100. Understanding the reasons why we should care about the climate change. As a start, the listed companies, no matter located in Shenzhen, Guangzhou, or Hong Kong, should form the basic of climate risk identification by having a macro view of current situation. You may have an internal review first by talking with the board or of director, management, or employees to have a basic understanding of a company's current situation and performance. And then you should also talk with your external stakeholders to understand their concerns towards the company's operation. Of course, you should also be aware of what your peers are doing and to keep up with the latest industrial trend. External consultant also plays an important role here to guide a company to take the right steps. But then we may identify the relevant climate risks affecting your industry and companies. Apart from determining the relevant climate risk to the company, we also need to understand the company's capacity and expectation. Thus, we should pay attention to different data, such as the company's operation performance or industrial figures. Figures can help us to estimate the impacts actually brought by the climate risk and to the company, and also it can form the basis of setting targets or even indicators. Besides, it is essential for the company to select the appropriate scenario for further analysis on how to identify the climate-related risks affecting the company's operation. Scenario analysis is actually a process for identifying and assessing the potential implication of a range of plausible future status under conditions of uncertainty. It describes the resilience of your company's strategy, taking into consideration different climate-related scenarios, including the scenarios we've mentioned before. Okay. As a consultant, we are now working with a large-cap construction Hong Kong listed company to identify the financial impacts brought by the climate change to its projects and assets. During the process, we do not merely just want to show the actual impacts brought, but also how the impacts are reduced after certain actions are taken by the client. Some companies may worry about that the impacts were too large and would affect the investors' confidence towards the company's future plan, such as decreasing the valuation of your assets because your building may facing growing flooding potentials. However, in our view, it is more important for the company to show that plan on responding to climate risk and how to mitigate the possible loss. We all understand that climate change is irreversible, and the winner will definitely be the one who can live with the risk and find a growing potential, not just who try to mitigate the risk. We believe that it is important for us, for all of us, to look for opportunities amidst the risk if you want to be the industrial leaders in the future. Hope all of you can also find your opportunity along the way to sustainability. And here's the end of my sharing. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you everyone, and I'm honored to being invited to the China and Denmark Economic and Trade Exchange seminar tonight. So it's in the morning in Denmark, so it's good morn in Denmark. And in China, 在深圳可能有朋友在看这个会议。晚上好，我是 Andrew. I'm representing China Busmore, which is under CTS in Hong Kong. It is a unique marketing service group that we provide offline solutions and online solutions, and even we explore commerce channel, offline retail channel, online advertising, and traditional advertising services. And we create online sales channel for all the merchants to enter Hong Kong and China market under cross-border e-commerce channel, and using both state-owned enterprise and pure commercial e-commerce platform. And this is our platform, and you can find in WeChat. You just simply type HKCTS Busmore and you see our platform. And we have many partners with different suppliers in Hong Kong and even overseas to list their products in our platforms. And merchants includes multinational corporation, even small or medium-sized enterprise, and even coffee farmer in Latin America. We have all kinds of promotion tools, such as pre-order sale, group buying, even a flash sale, and you can refer a friend. And beyond the channel, we offer warehouse for storage, as well as a packaging service. We can help to register product in China customs for merchants around the world, handling China import customs and taxation handling. And even we can arrange cross-border transportation from Hong Kong to China, as well as the last mile delivery to consumer directly. And we will also help the merchants to handle the cross-border payment, transfer end user payment in China to Hong Kong or overseas in any countries, any currencies. I would like to share a very successful case study with all of you. As you may know, or you may heard of, Jenny Bakery is one of the very famous cookies in Hong Kong, which is founded by Auntie Jenny in 2005, and it is very famous. And almost all Chinese travelers, they will buy cookies as a souvenirs if they come to Hong Kong. The sales has been risen for more than 100% since it launched in our platform. And we also offer offline sales channels. We have a supermarket called Minimart in one of the most famous area in Tsim Sha Tsui in Hong Kong. And we have all kinds of inventory such as wine, makeup, household, fruits, stationery, you can name. And besides the online platform and the supermarket, we also can provide outdoor advertising to our clients, and we can provide outdoor advertising, including Hong Kong and China cross-border bus in Greater Bay Area, Guangzhou Public Transportation Network, Hong Kong and China Custom Area outdoor billboard in Hong Kong, etc. As you can see, we can provide like bus body and a headgear inside the bus. And also in Shenzhen Bay border immigration area, you can place your advertisement in all the billboard here. It's very gorgeous, very attractive. Okay, and we also provide outdoor billboard services around Hong Kong area, such as Mong Kok or Tsim Sha Tsui. And we can also provide big data online marketing because we can use the China Unicom big data analysis in order to locate very targeted user group and cross over with Tencent to blast text, image, and even video marketing message to your target customers. Okay, thank you so much. If you are interested in doing business in mainland China, please feel free to contact me. Thank you so much. In Denmark, Money Talk and VCs. Thank you.
Thank you for invitation. I'm Tim Yun from Messim Healthcare education company. Today we're presenting about a classic example of a Hong Kong healthcare education entrepreneur and help how to bridge the East Midwest and contribution to the China public health. Sorry. So we actually established in since 2013, and we supply a full range of healthcare training, public health training, simulation training for more than 10 years, and organize different training program in China. And we focus on healthcare niche market about some specialty training, e-learning, and providing some VR, AR, and simulation training software. We specialize in turnkey healthcare education project and helping different society to provide education for their specialty group. So we have office in Hong Kong, Guangzhou, and Taiwan, and we help. We also carry different brand from different parts of Europe, US, and Canada, and bring in their teaching and training product into China. And currently we have around $4 million turnover on just on education and training, and we cover about more than 1,000 plus healthcare facility or university or medical center in China. So while we start our company, we'd like to walk you through and how to make successful business in China. So we have actually more than, before we start the company, my group, actually my core team member, have more than 15 years experience on customer network and the healthcare education market know-how in China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong for more than 15 years. So we have a basic foundation, and we have a solid network and customer network and database already developed in China. And we have we understand the market potential. There's over 3 million 3 million doctors, 3 million nursing, and also more than 2 million allied health professionals in China. So we are actually serving more than 10 million target group in China, only in the healthcare industry. And we see there is a pain point. There's a lack of competencies on healthcare workforce, mainly in China, without a standardized training program and credentialing like the Europe or the US system. So we are trying to bridge the pain point and bring in professional training organization and training methodology with software, technical hardware software, providing training for the healthcare professional. And therefore, there's a rapid growth in the number of hospitals we saw every years in China, maybe more than a few hundred new hospitals. And every hospital actually maybe more than 1,000 to 2,000 hospital beds. Therefore, more than 100,000 hospital bed installment in China every year. So those new healthcare facilities, either both from government or private sector, need or require a lot of healthcare professionals. So the people, and also another reason we saw that the citizen has higher awareness on the personal health and more demand on the primary health care. Therefore, the demand is increasing, can keep increasing. And the government policy on the medical reform about the Health China project 2020 actually drive a lot of demand and investment on the healthcare development on the industry. So how do we actually capture this opportunity and utilize our network of resources? So how we bridge the East and Midwest? So we actually assist the translation about the medical training, education equipment or program or tools. We participate into different workshops, seminars, and conferences, and also involved in the committee member of the professional group in China and bring in the latest training and education content and solution to help the medical professionals. So we're running almost usually over a few 50 or more training workshop every year in China, different parts in China. And so we bring in different education product into China and help the healthcare professional. So some of the seminar and the workshop we have done, we invite speaker, experienced professor from all around the world, usually from Taiwan because they have a very good Mandarin and also more culture, more like and in China. So like this one is Professor Yang from Taiwan, and we organize our training software to help the healthcare professional can have a remote learning or online learning opportunities. So where do we find our channel partner? We are a Hong Kong company, so we are actually finding a local channel partner to help us to build the business. In terms of that, we participate into industry or association or society annual event, conferences or trade show, and then participate into professional healthcare conferences to get our brand name to be more awareness and meet more potential partner. Also, of course, we will check with our other partner in Singapore or in other country, and how do they find their channel partner, and we can share information among each other. And of course, we're using different social media to do the promotion and get our brand name to have reaching more to the industry. So we organize different workshop and seminar and promoting the training. This training program actually very popular and helping a lot of professor, even professor. This one is in Changsha Shanghai University is a very big and top university on the medical school, and we bring in the talent and helping their medical student to learn and faculty member to learn about latest healthcare education training and technique and improving their education value. So we also have, because of the COVID, we speed up our e-learning platform and building an e-learning solution and to help like Hong Kong or Taiwan or Singapore training organization or medical professional to prepare their training content and deliver the training content for the e-learning platform to share the knowledge, enhance the learning opportunity. So this is our e-learning platform, both bilingual in traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, and also the US. And welcome any participant or any party contact us. We can very welcome to help together and bring your training content into China market. Even the industry have a lot of new technologies and want to bring into China. Our platform can help you to deliver to the China 10 million healthcare professional. And this is some of the other training content we have delivered and provided in our training e-learning solution. Therefore, our aim and our company objective is to help enhancement or improving healthcare professional competency on providing like clinical reasoning training or clinical skill competency with different virtual patient program with AR, 3D, immersive, different technique on the latest delivery model. So the key successful factor on doing, I think we are bringing the value. Adding value is most important to the society and bringing the education and training value. And we set the goal together with our customer and then to achieve their training goal. For example, to reduce the medical error. Education, we educate the market, arrange workshop, seminar to enhance the awareness about the latest healthcare technologies. And we identify with government policy, which government policy can help to deliver the program in a more effective and efficient way. And more important, to develop the local channel partner to help you distribute, and they have utilized the local network. And be flexible is one key experience in China, because the very dynamic change, be flexible is always the winning ticket. And build your connection is definitely important. So welcome everyone to contact us. I'm Tim Yun, Maxim Healthcare. We also have helping one of the Denmark healthcare education company to bring in the adaptive AI learning solution into China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. So welcome to contact us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tim Yun, for your great sharing. Next, may I invite Mr. Madison Chen, the President-elect of Junior Chamber International Victoria, Hong Kong, to share with us. Okay, there is something changed. Sorry. May I invite Mr. Stephen Yiu, the partner of Shanghai and Goyen Law Firm, to share with us about the topic cross-border use of medical products in the Greater Bay Area. May I invite Mr. Stephen Yiu.
Thank you very much. Ms. Chapter, where I can be heard very clear. Yeah, okay. May I share my screen? Yes, you can.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me to attend. It's a great honor to be with you and friends in Hong Kong and also in Denmark. And my name is Stephen Ye. I'm a partner of the Chinese leading law firm Tcfd, and I'm spending my time in Guangzhou and Shanghai office. And today I would like to take the opportunity to share with you the Chinese policy in relation to the Greater Bay Area, which is kind of an interesting area for all of us, including Hong Kong and Macau. And first of all, I would like to share with you what the Greater Bay Area it is. Actually, this is a concept of policy introduced by the central government as well as multiple agencies in Hong Kong and Macau. It's an area covering 9 mainland China cities in Guangdong province and also the special administration zone in Hong Kong and Macau. So it's a 9+2 area. It's quite large. Actually, there are 56,000 square kilometers area. It's much large. It's probably slightly larger than the whole size of Denmark plus the Netherlands. And in terms of the population-wise, it covers 75 million people, and with an economic output of around $1.6 trillion. So if we put it on GDP size, it roughly can rank as 7th largest economy, which is bigger than South Korea. So it's quite geographically a very large area and cover very active and most very productive area. And central governments introduced this Greater Bay Area special policies, kind of related equivalent of some, let's say, EEA, similar to EEA policies cover 3 different jurisdictions in terms of regulation, but also within 1 country and 2 system regime. And as you can imagine, China, central government and also Hong Kong and Macau invest a lot to create infrastructures. One of the biggest example is to build up this this is the longest and largest cross-sea bridge and tunnel, Hong Kong to Macau Bridge, which connects Hong Kong with Macau and also another city, Zhuhai, and which created literally 2 hours traveling zones within those areas. Although there's some interruptions during the last 2 years by the pandemic, and cross-border traffic have been significantly restricted due to the wartime purpose. But we are looking at a very in the near very future, there will ease for the border between Hong Kong and mainland China as well as with Macau, which is increasing the traffic around area. And you see the Greater Bay Area will cover 9 mainland China cities, almost the top cities in the country, and also 2 very prominent international cities, Hong Kong and Macau. And for this Greater Bay Area or GBA, the central governments encourage and make the most initiative to introduce regional specific policies to encourage integrations of the governing, integration of people doing business around the area, and also encourage business to utilize the dynamic in 3 different cities and different regulation regime, and also encouraging people cross-region practicing. People who travel very often from Hong Kong to mainland and also vice versa, across the bridge to Macau, and not just for consumption, but also professionals and also people who have factories in Shenzhen on the China side, mainland side, but also have the R&D centers in Hong Kong side, and they will travel regularly on a daily basis. And also also professionals are encouraged to practice in each other's jurisdiction. For example, Hong Kong medicine, Hong Kong doctors will be able to apply for special license to practice in Guangdong area in the Greater Bay. And this will, of course, will largely expand the market opportunity for all sides of business, including international business. And also because the Greater Bay Area is itself a very active and dynamic, which is integrated as itself as a very large market, but also it could be a springboard from the Greater Bay enter into a much larger
recording in progress. Tons of millions to increase the infrastructure to support the region business. So that's quite a broad concept. I would like to use an example by introducing this cross-border use medicine policy to illustrate how China governments, or actually it's the governments in Macau, Hong Kong, and mainland China, how they adopt a creative measure to promote and create ecosystems. Traditionally, for overseas international medicine and medical devices, although they are very advanced and very popular in terms of the usage in China, but when it's quite relatively difficult for introducing new medical products into China, typically has to be applied for a central government approval process or registration or certification process, both for prescriptive medicines, drugs, as well as medical devices, like the EU and Europe innovated medicines or medical devices. They cannot necessarily easily able to be marketed or sold in China until they obtain the China and National Medical Products Administration or NMPA's certifications. But this process has to be done in Beijing, in central government, and typically would take 3 to 5 years. It's very long and very long process, but the demand is very high. So typically we are seeing Chinese patients in the greater area very often before the pandemic will travel to Hong Kong cross borders and apply for the more advanced and innovative Western approved medicines in Hong Kong's hospital and clinic. However, given the pandemics, this traffic has significantly been blocked up. So for the Chinese government, in order to make the life more easier, last year, at the end of last year, in November, the central government introduced a trial Greater Bay measure specifically for these regions, which localizing the import approval process and authority from the central government to the Guangdong province government, which is adjacent to Hong Kong and Macau. And for the Chinese patients in the greater area, they will be able to use Hong Kong drugs or Macau approved drugs, or use Hong Kong medical devices, which has not yet complete the registration approval process in the mainland China. And these measures is joint efforts among the central government, the Guangdong local government, as well as the governments in Hong Kong and Macau. So how does it work? How does new trial GBA measures work for cross-border use of medical devices and drugs? First element is that first of all, the procedures, the policies allow Hong Kong investors or Macau investors to set up hospitals in the Greater Bay Area, and then for those hospitals, they can apply for a pilot status with the authorities, and only for those Hong Kong or Macau hospitals in the greater area allowed or eligible to apply for such a trial measure, this is create a huge opportunities of incentive for Hong Kong and Macau's practitioners as well as investors in healthcare businesses. And secondly, not everyone will be able to get this status. Only pilot hospitals passing through the assessment procedures will be able to get it. And currently, after 7 months or 10 months trial, already have 5 hospitals invested by Hong Kong Invest and has already got the pilot run license in the Greater Bay areas. And secondly, not all the drugs and medicines is allowed to be used in the Greater areas. Only for those urgent clinical needs medicines as well as advanced medical devices will be allowed to apply for a trial. This is quite alongside or along with China's national policy. When they introduce a new policy, they will use a very cautious process. And there is a approval and assessment procedures running by the local provincial government in Guangdong to classify which kind of products have been classified or qualified for urgent need, critical need, and which type of the products have been regarded as advantage medical devices. And second element for that, those products has to be being approved and being used in Hong Kong hospital and being sold in the Hong Kong market, which means for any products not necessarily produced in Hong Kong, but so long as they have already get certified in Hong Kong by the Hong Kong Authority Administration Healthcare Administration, they will be actually they will be eligible to apply for a trial to be rolled out in the China market by this scheme without has to go through this 3 to 5 years national approval procedures. And thirdly, although this is a very convenient and also groundbreaking procedures at the very beginning, the authority in China are relatively cautious, so they're still running a very honest, very sophisticated safety control management systems. And this will include that a very strict import approval assessment system, in addition to the license regime. Although the license is not running by the central government, but still there is a equivalent agencies in Guangdong province. We'll have a similar but fast-tracked procedures to be adopted for running this license scheme. However, once the products and as well as the medicines and then have obtained this trial, they will be tracked. They will be tracked from the beginning, shipping from Hong Kong, and has to use a special license logistic agency to warehousing and cross-border clearance. And once they enter into China, they will have a very sophisticated logistics supervision system and tracking the real-time information of each of the products. And all those products cannot be sold in normal drug house or pharmacy. They has to be used in those pilot-run hospital and should be prescribed by licensed doctors instead of normal practitioners. However, the governments in free area in mainland, in Hong Kong, in Macau, they are running a very close working group and also set a committee to exchange information and also establish a mechanism to regularly supervise and update the list of those permitted drugs and medicines to be imported from Hong Kong into Macau. And so this is a very new and this very innovative measures of course, is on the run and test basis, but we are seeing there is a great benefit in the long run can be introduced to all business, in particular in Hong Kong and also overseas business. The overall significance of these measures are as follows. For the Greater Bay Area, this is a very productive. This measure is one of the examples of many of similar innovative measures to promote the greater area and by utilize a productive population with many people, many customers, very rich persons living here and working here. And by introduce favorable policy to attract people's investment into the area, and utilize the relatively lower cost operation in the mainland side, but also utilize the very more advanced and more straightforward systems in Hong Kong and Macau, which are more adherence to the Western system, to create a very fast maturing ecosystems in the area. And for the people in the greater area, they will be able to freely traveling in different cities by using the medicine and medical service they are familiar with. For the Hong Kong people, they are living in greater area, they will be able to be enjoy a similar healthcare quality service in greater area without going back to the Hong Kong. So this will increasing more and more a crossover business and crossover residence exchange, and it overall improve the overall quality living standards in the greater area. And for the local and multinational pharmaceutical companies, biomedical companies, and health technology companies, they also can find very attractive policy for them. They will be fine because the local government in Guangdong province literally have a very have been dedicated the power to approve, which the the officials in the local area more efficient, and also the central governments also set up a regional assessment center to helping fast track any innovation registration process for any drugs and medical devices, which will create a more efficient environment for those companies to work in China. And by utilizing this trial, they can use Hong Kong as a very good place to start with, rolling out their new products, particularly new medicine and medical products into China markets. They can go to Hong Kong and then apply for a relatively fast registration certification process, roll out the product in Hong Kong and Macau, and then in the same time to apply for a pilot trial into the greater area. And in the meantime, they can also start with the China registration process. So this is a very convenient and exciting measures in the mid and long term for those multinational pharmaceutical company and bio company. And by the way, also because this is a hub of this will also become a hub for R&D in the biomedicals and also healthcare and pharmacies regions. So they're increasing more and more talents and also investment, as well as products will be residents in the area, which is on the one, and on the other hand, we encourage the R&D process, innovation process of any of these medical products in the world. And also this is a good news for the Hong Kong and Macau hospitals and medical practitioners. They will be able to step into the greater area by utilizing their professional skill, as well as using the very advanced medicals and medical pharmacy and medical devices in the greater area, and enlarge their service to cover not just for Hong Kong patients, but also the Greater Bay Area residents. And last but not least, it is also good news for the insurance company, as you can see that people traveling around, people using medical services cross-border in the Greater Bay Area. Of course, the payment system will need to be enhanced by introduce cross-border applied insurance policies. This could be seeing an increased business opportunities for insurance company in the near run. So, as you can say, this is probably the good example for you to find that China has been looking ways to improve the greater area and create business opportunity and living environment for the people here. And last point is to introduce our firm. Jintian Gongcheng is one of the top firms in China, and we have full service firm. And for any business, I have been practicing for this for more than 22 years and helping international doing business in China, as well as helping Chinese invest in Europe. So you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and then to find my contact detail from the end of my slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yip. Now may I announce the webinar come to the end. Thank you for all your participation. See you in the near future. Thank you. Bye bye.